Crypto Craig, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. I am sharing my screen on Kick and YouTube for anyone joining. Good morning to you, sir. How are we doing? Clearly not in the UK. How are we doing? How are we doing, Mel? Good to see you. I'm very well, thank you, Crypto Craig. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, I'm very, very well. So today we've seen some big gains. I've missed an opportunity. I was going to buy some Cross Network because it's still low cap, below 20 mil, and it's up 30% today. So I've missed that opportunity. It's still low cap, but I was going to try and catch some big dips, and I think I've missed that one with Cross Network. It's now back up on the week. Just looking, welcome. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you're very, very well. Thank you for hitting the likes, people. I appreciate that. Please do smash the likes. We'll get a lot more people in. Looks like it's going to be a hard slog for me today. Salva, how are we doing, buddy? Rolled, good to see you. I hope you're well. So, yeah, the week's still horrible. Thank you, Barry. Welcome, buddy. I hope you're very well. You hope for one more dip. Yeah, I think we've got one more dip. The halving dip, I don't think has happened yet. It's going to be interesting to see if the halving dip does have a softened blow, like I think it might, because I think possibly the halving dip could be cushioned by the ETFs, but we'll see. We've seen a good few 4-hour candles now on Bitcoin, recovering from just below 60k. We've wicked back up above 64, so we've had a very good day. But yeah, if we do get one more dip, then it's not going to be bad. What I would say is on the 4-hour chart, we had a little bit of a trend line forming and we've broken above that. And at the moment, we're back above the 20-day EMA. So that's a good sign that we might just be starting to shift the other way. After a few days of blood in the streets and a bit of indecision, Bitcoin might be making a move back up. We'll have to wait and see. But there's lots and lots of bargains out there still. We haven't recovered from this last dip at all. For me, if I'm buying long term, these are opportunities. I mean, crypto bubbles is a godsend in that regard. You can see on the week, nearly everything is still 25, 35% down. So there are still plenty of opportunities out there. A lot of them are very good as well. I'm into a lot of launches at the moment as well. So launches and pre-sales are pretty big in my itinerary at the moment. But anything I'm holding long term that takes a big tumble, I'll probably buy a little bit of. I've got stacks of stable coins on the side, and I will buy a little bit as we go. If it goes down again, I'll buy a little bit more. I'm not going to carry on buying the dip like crazy, but when we see big monumental shifts of like 30, 35% down a week, I'm going to be doing some buying. Because, there's only... I don't think the bull run's done. I think obviously after the halving we kick off again. Looks like... Okay, so I am connected. I was going to say, it looks like I'm not streaming on Kick or YouTube, but I am. Okay, so I'm screen sharing on Kick and YouTube. If anyone wants to go and have a look, it looks like it's being shared. A one-way ticket, I see you over there. How are we doing? Good to see you. I hope you're very, very well. Thank you for going over onto Kick. I appreciate the support. Is it halving tomorrow? I think the halving's in 2 days. Let me just have a quick look. It's not an exact time. This is the problem. It's when the halving happens when a certain number of blocks complete. So when a certain number of blocks have completed, then the Bitcoin difficulty doubles. So 1 day, 5 hours and 47 minutes at the current network rate. So less than 2 days, a little bit more than a day. So basically by the time I wake up on Saturday, we'll probably have had the halving. Nice guy, welcome, good to see you. How are we doing? Good to see you, good to see you. You're on Kick and it looks good. Excellent stuff. We had a bit of a patchy start when I started to use this first time. Some people were saying it was lagging, it was bad sound, but I think that was just me and my wiring. Nice guy, thank you for the heart. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much indeed. Sarah Snapshot 10 minutes ago. Oh, Sarah Snapshot. What network was that on, Eric? What are we doing with Sarah? Tell us more. So Sarah Network, I don't know anything about. What's Sarah? Is that a Corium? I know you're hardcore Corium, but you're also hardcore Dimension and Airdropper as well. It is Corum. Okay, excellent stuff. Do we have to hold that anywhere, or does it have to be staked? Uh, hey Huds, how are we doing, buddy? Good to see you. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me. When is the halving? The halving is in 1 hour. Sorry, 1 day and 5 hours. So well, more like 1 hour. One day 6 hours. So 30 hours. About 30 hours. Am I in any memes? I am in some memes. I'm still in Brett a little bit. I'm still holding a little bit of Solnic. I'm gonna be holding some Katamoto tomorrow, and a few others as well. I'm gonna be going on. But yeah, I mean, Punk I've been in. I'm not in anymore. I tend to recycle meme coins quite quickly. I might miss out on some longer term opportunities with ones that run. But for me, meme coins are a quick flip. I mean, I don't stay in meme coins very long. The only reason I was in Solnic for so long is because I like what the community are trying to do with with reviving that token. But generally, I just quick flip meme coins. I don't want to hold on to something so risky for that long. My take on Quack. Quack was unbelievable. Quack really kicks really quiet on the audio. Okay. Let me turn the receiver up. Hopefully that's a little bit better for you. I'm obviously not talking in the same place. So yeah, Quack, it had massive potential for me. They really either they had a bad accident on launch or it's a deliberate front run of the launch. So basically it looks like they released the token. Some people started trading it before the airdrop happened. Whether that was the team or whether it was the early airdrop benefiters, I don't know. I mean, it looked deliberate to me. And the fact that I know that some of the smaller creators were not paid for the work they did, that does not look good for the owner. So, yeah, Quack was a bit of a disaster. It had real promise, but yeah, Quack, not good. Haha, I've done a partnership with Brett. That is fantastic news, Huds. That's a great achievement. That could do Haha the world of good. I would love to find out a bit more about that partnership. We'll have a chat offline later on. But yeah, Haha, another token I support purely because I know the team quite well. I don't know exactly who the whole team are, but I know some of the team quite well. Perfect, excellent stuff. So the volume's back up on Kick. But yeah, meme coins for me, they're quite high risk, so I don't stay in meme coins for very long. I've held Brett because Brett is supposedly the darling of base chain. I was into Quack because I thought Quack had promise of being the big meme coin on base chain, and they bodged the launch accidentally, deliberately, don't know. But yeah, not happy. I got out, luckily, with the skin of my teeth with a very small profit on Quack. I put quite a lot in. But yeah, Quack was not good. Meme coins, very, very high risk. There's a lot of them about. I've considered doing a meme coin myself, especially on the Blast network, but someone's already beaten me and done the project that I was thinking of doing, so I've just bought into theirs and I'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, Blast network as well, the farming's going very, very nicely with that. So yeah, Blast network is going very, very well. If you're not already, check out the link in my bio. In order to farm the Blast airdrop, all you need to do is hold ETH or swap some ETH for USDB on the Blast network, which you can do via RhinoFi or Orbit Finance. It's very, very simple. All you got to do is hold it. Do I think we've bottomed? No, I do think there's more of a Bitcoin dip to come. The halving dip hasn't happened yet. Bitcoin's looking pretty good on the daily. The stochastic RSI is nice and low. But I don't think we've had the Bitcoin halving dip yet. But saying that, I think the dip will be either softer or a very quick bounce back. So I'm not too worried about that. We do have quite a large gap to fill. If you look at the daily chart, we've bounced twice at 59.7 now. If we lose that, there's a big gap down to about 50.5. So a big, big gap. Joseph Gorman, welcome, buddy. Good to see you. I hope you're well too. I'm very well, thank you. I've been grinding all through the bear market, so I'm pleased that you're back, buddy. Good to have you with me. I hope you're very, very well. If anyone wants to see my screen, I am sharing live on Kick, the link to which is in my bio. If you could go over there and support me, I'd appreciate it. If I can get the numbers up on Kick, they will start paying for my live time, so that'll be good. And all I got to do is go live here and there, and hopefully we'll have that base covered. Okay, so what have I been buying this week? I've been topping up on my favourites, so Extra, Aero, BMX, Crow, my big holds basically. So crazy. Down 150 on Quack now might be worth just holding. It did have a slight bounce back, didn't it? So you never know. It might be worth holding. Let's have a look at Dex Tools. Let's just see what's happening with Quack since the dreaded launch where everything went very, very wrong. Crypto Chaos, thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. You've got your name sorted out. That's very, very good. It was very confusing having Crypto Whale Watcher or whatever you were called for a while. So I'm pleased that Chaos is back. But yes, mate, I'm going for Kick. As per your suggestion, I'm going for Kick. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I mean, as I said, the thing is with Quack, it's very, very high risk. I'm a little bit soured because as a creator, I know that the last thing that anyone should do if they want help with the marketing on meme coins is not pay the coals, because you're not going to get anyone working for you. So your marketing becomes very, very difficult. So we can see here at the moment, the market cap is currently 2.5 million. Liquidity is decent at 420k. But it's pretty much just trending sideways and down now. Will that be the death of it? I don't know. I'm not seeing any marketing for a project that said it had $500,000 to $1 million set aside for marketing. It's not going to do that, I don't think. So I think that money is just being drained by the project team. 30 hours, yeah, absolutely. Lost phone equals lost crypto. Careful, guys. The safer you think it is, double check. Yeah, I mean, I've obviously got all my seed phrases and things written down. My 2FA will be transferable, so that's not too much of a problem. Bitcoin halving thoughts and when. So the Bitcoin halving is in 1 day, 5 hours and 50 minutes. It looks like the hash rate just went down, so it's extended the time. It was 1 hour, 5 minutes, 46, 1 day, 5 hours, 46 minutes just now. It seems like it's getting a longer way away. So the hash rates decrease, which means that the blocks won't complete as soon. So yeah, the Bitcoin halving is in 1 day and 6 hours-ish. So in other words, when I wake up Saturday morning, we will have halved. And we'll see what the markets do. Saturday morning's an interesting one. Will we see a big dump on Friday instead? Of course, the big market makers aren't working on the weekends, but crypto's 24/7. They can always put orders in. However, what I would say, as I said, I think if there is a halving dip, I think it's quite short-lived. I think it gets bought up pretty quickly. So if we have a big dip on the weekend, I expect to be bought up on the Monday. What am I going to do when it happens? I'm not going to do a lot. I mean, if we have another halving dip, I will just DCA more into the projects that I like long term. So I will keep doing that. These dips are not scary. I've been in a bull run before. I've been all through the bear market. I know the projects that I like for this bull run. I'm just buying more on the big dips. If you look on Crypto Bubbles right now for the week, there are still good projects 25-35% down. They're the ones that I'm looking at thinking, do I want to hold more going into the bull run? If the answer is yes, I will buy a little bit. I'm not going to go all in because I do think we're going to have more dips. The Bitcoin halving is a prime example. A big buy the rumor, sell the news event. We could have a real big dip, but I think it will rip again afterwards. And I said, I think it'll be a slightly cushioned blow because the institutions will just buy up all the cheap Bitcoin. But yeah, I mean, there's lots of projects out there at the moment that I like that are still 30% plus down on the week. And I've been buying as well. So Base is a place that I like to go. There's a lot of projects in Base Chain that I like. There's a lot of projects in Blast Network that I'm farming. That's really where my attention is right now, as well as launches and projects that are launching. I do have a cold wallet, but I actually just tend to use hot wallets. especially now at the moment, whilst things are fairly fluid. I like to be able to react quite quickly. So most of my holdings at the moment are on hot wallets. I just make sure that they're as safe as can be. What do I recommend? Getting nervous back into it, but almost FOMO. I mean, it's one of the, no one knows where the true bottom of the market is. It's just whether or not you believe the market's going to recover. The best time to buy was last year in the bear market at the bottom. There are many projects that have gone 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x. Myself and the Discord, we were buying projects in the bottom of the bear market that have collectively done over 110x. We've had one do 110x. We've had a couple of 30x's and some 15x's. So the best time to buy was like last year. You could still get in now and make a decent profit, I think, if you get into the good ones. But the massive returns, they are earned in the bear market. Still will retrace 58k pending. Yeah, I can see 58k. I can actually see the gap being completely filled down to 50.5. So if we lose support at 59.8, I think we fill the gap all the way down to 50.5. It could be a very, very big run down. But the stochastic RSI is nice and low. It's just starting to turn upwards today with this green candle. On the 4-hourly chart, we're just crossing over the 20-day EMA again. So if we could start going back above the trend lines, that's bullish. We're making progress in the right direction. Storage-wise, I mean, it's really just whatever's safe is. Nothing's entirely safe. Hot wallets are exposed to hackers. Your cold wallets are exposed to backdoor exploits. There's nothing that's truly safe. The safest thing you can do is take it offline and stick it back in your bank. But of course, that's not going to earn you any money. So, crypto's very risky. I'm in hot wallets, but I've got it spread across several hot wallets. There's not a lot all in the same place. So still good. Liquidations will still come. The market will still be manipulated. We'll start feeling bullish, and then all of a sudden it'll be wicked away from us. No doubt about it. I mean, you're not wrong. There's still going to be a lot of volatility. I still think there's a big dip to come because of the Bitcoin halving. That will liquidate a lot of longs that get put in as we start feeling more bullish. And then hopefully we'll make a run upwards afterwards. Am I from near Birmingham? Yeah, I am West Midlands, so I'm quite near the NEC. Yeah, that's where I'm based. Originally from down southwest. Thank you, user 87707. Sphinx Labs is one that's been mentioned before. Actually, I do need to have a look at it because you're not the only one talking about that one, so I do need to have a look. Eggs in one basket kind of thing. Yeah, I don't do that. I'm quite spread out. But yeah, exchange-wise, I use a combination of MEXC, Swissborg, and KuCoin and Crypto.com. Swissborg was my main off-ramp. I can't use that at the moment. I've got to do the UK FCA regs questionnaire. Crypto.com is therefore my default off-ramp at the moment, on-ramp, off-ramp. So at the moment, the fees to trade on Crypto.com are quite high. So I like Swissborg. I like MEXC because the fees are very cheap and they have low-cap gems, lots and lots of them. KuCoin also very good. Crypto.com, as I said. But yeah, I mean, I don't keep anything on exchanges. I try and keep it all on hot wallets. So I've got quite a few hot wallets, and I just keep moving it around. Is there a way to track the narratives? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you use free resources like CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko, or actually quite another good one is dropstab.com. There's another free resource. It will show you market insights, and you've got top gainers, losers, bounces, dips. It's a really good website for seeing trends and things. You also get the Twitter trends on there as well as the BTC dominance, the Fear and Greed Index, and the S&P all listed on the front screen. So I really like dropstabs.com for that kind of information. Lots and lots of insights on there. So yeah, it's a good resource, but there's lots of free places. I would take CoinMarketCap.com with a pinch of salt because it is owned by Binance. Donald Bump. I actually own some Donald Bump. I'm hoping that does quite well. I saw that last night launch. It's got quite a small cap, and I chucked some in it. I was about 50% up overnight, I think. So, yeah, Donald Bump going well. Up 200% today alone. Fantastic. I haven't checked it since I woke up. I woke up to 50% gain, so that was good. How do I keep track of passwords? Do I use one email sign up? I'm scared. Yeah, I mean, you're best off spreading it around. But in terms of passwords, in terms of hot wallets, your seed phrase is key. So I write down a copy of my seed phrase, and I have 2 copies. And just in case one gets lost or damaged, I've got the other one. Never store them electronically because that's vulnerable. Obviously, if your email gets compromised or what have you, they'll have access to lots of things. So just seed phrases in writing with your passwords. Literally buy yourself a couple of little black books, keep them in different places, and just update them. Sean H, how we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Pump the bump. Please don't spam the chat, guys. I've kind of acknowledged you. Please don't spam. But yeah, I mean, I don't hold meme coins a long time, but I will dip into them. I did see Donald Bump launch yesterday, and I did buy some. I think the market cap was 18k. I woke up and it was like 33k, I think, or maybe 30. So yeah, it's going well, but it's still quite small. So good luck, guys. I know that you're talking to Darth. I can't remember his actual name, but the Darth guy on TikTok. I know he's done a video on it as well. Do I think we're going to dip more? Yes, at some point we will dip more. I think today at the moment the stochastic RSI, flawed on the daily, looks like it's turning upwards for now. The 4 hourly on the shorter term, the stochastic RSI is almost at the top, so it could reverse. But on the weekly, we're kind of halfway down to oversold, so I think maybe a little bit more downward action from the Bitcoin halving on the weekly to bounce off the 20-day EMA would be perfect timing. So if we bounce quite heavily onto the 20-day EMA, we're looking at about 55, 56k. However, when you look at the daily chart, there's actually a very large gap between 59.8 and 50.5. So I'd expect that gap to be filled. Thank you for the follow, Sean. Appreciate that, brother. And you, Donald, appreciate that as well. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's nothing wrong with meme coins as long as you understand and you're aware of the risks. There are some projects that are riskier than others, and I treat them all with equal contempt. They're all diseased. Get in, get out, and just have fun with it. But yeah, the best communities are the biggest communities. And to be fair as well to these guys, if you see them raiding other people's lives and TikToks and Twitters, they're working hard for the community. That shows that the community is quite strong. And a meme coin is 100% community. So yeah, all good. Sphinx Labs got potential. Do your own research and invest. I'm going to have a look at Sphinx Labs, actually. As I said, you're not the first person to mention it. So let's have a look at Sphinx. Sphinx Labs. Evening, Tango. How we doing, buddy? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for smashing the likes, by the way, whoever that is who's got me up to 5k. I appreciate you 100%. If we can keep smashing the likes, that would be absolutely amazing. Sorry, I've missed you all on Kick as well. So, DYOFR on Kick, absolutely brilliant. Thank you for popping over. And Craig's Peaver, welcome, buddy. Thank you for joining me on Kick. I appreciate your support over there. Hopefully you can see and hear me perfectly well. Well, not see me, but see my screen. You don't want to see me on Kick. You just want to see my screen. It makes it easier to stream as well. So yeah, thank you for coming over to Kick. I appreciate your support over there, folks. Really, really do. I am live on YouTube as well. If you like YouTube, I am over there as well. The links are in the bio. But yeah, let's have a look at Sphinx Labs. Let's go. So 0.7 cents at the moment. It has been out for quite a while. It launched, by the looks of things, in January 2021, so early in the bull run. Got to, let's have a look at the market cap. Market cap's not reportable. So the price was 1.5 cents, so not far off the all-time high, to be fair. Still a very small market cap. Recently performing very, very, very well ever since really the beginning of middle of March, beginning of March. Only on decentralized exchanges, VVS, PancakeSwap, Uniswap, that's decent. Nice to see people using VVS on Kronos as well. I like that project a lot from the last bull run. Pleased it survived. Providing all-in-one solutions for trading, farming, staking, and holding. Amount of trading, staking, and farming platforms out there can be overwhelming, difficult to navigate. Barriers for entry overcome. I like it. Anything that simplifies DeFi is good. Obviously, a lot more research to go. Performing very well at the moment. Been out a while. Clearly not dead because you're here and you're talking about it. So they're doing something to encourage people to learn about it. It's not on any major exchanges, probably because it's lacking volume. If they can get that volume up, then they'll get relisted on exchanges, but you'll have to pay for that unless you go crazy. So yeah, just be wary of it. 10.6 million. It is fully diluted. That's bullish. I like fully diluted tokenomics. They're still alive. They're still developing. So it looks pretty good. Yeah, that could be okay. 1 day, 5 hour, 20 minutes to the halving. We're counting down. Just whilst I'm having a look for that. So Sphinx Labs, let's have a look at this. All-in-one DeFi with a Visa crypto card. So it's DeFi with a Visa spend card as well. That's good. Is it a spend reward card or is it just a spend card? It is just a spend card. Higher limits with KYC, but you can get a free no KYC version. That's good. Yeah, interesting. And they got the Visa spend card as well. That's really, really good. Joseph Gorman, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Any thoughts on UFO gaming? I almost bought some actually. UFO gaming. I think gaming's still one of the best looking narratives. I think it's going to be very, very strong. There's a lot of gaming projects being invested into by VCs. Some people don't like VCs, but if you understand the VC game, I like projects that have support from VCs because they have guidance, they have direction, they have a plan, and the VCs will help them execute that plan to get the best return out of them they can. So I do like it. You're a roofer. Wish people at work would talk about this stuff. To be fair, you're not alone, Joseph. To be fair, you're not alone. I mean, you might know a guy on TikTok called Bricks and Slides. Steve's he's a bit of a legend. He likes his crypto as well. He sometimes hops into these lives, but he's a brickie and he does a lot of lives on TikTok, but also a lot of crypto stuff. Donald Bump, let's go. Pairs on Sol, Matic, and Bitcoin come to Sphinx as well. That will be really, really good. Yeah, they want to get onto all the major chains while they can. Get onto Base. That will make me really happy. Yes, Lady Crypto, we've checked out Sphinx Labs. Thank you. Just catching up on the comments. Sphinx Labs is the next big thing in crypto. It seems that way because they're getting spammed quite heavily. Dot to the moon. Oh, let's hope so. Dot is a very good shout, actually, because Dot has had an absolute slam on its price, down to $6.37. When Bitcoin dipped, Dot absolutely pooed the bed. So we dropped from $8.45 all the way down in 2 days to $5.66. I was going to buy a big bag, and I thought my bag's big enough. It will bounce back, hopefully. But again, stochastic RSI is very low. It hasn't got enough buy volume to sustain the upside. This is the problem. So we need people to get bullish on Dot again. But Dot has a lot of bullish use cases coming out now. So I think Dot will be okay. I've got some very, very good or much higher targets for Dot for the bull run. So I'm not going to be selling my Dot until we see at least $35.50. Realistically, it could do a lot more, but I'm looking at the Fibonacci chart from all-time high, and I'm doing a conservative first TP at about 35.5. If it's more bullish, I will wait till about 44. If it's quite conservative bull run, it'll be 29. But that means that at the moment, at the current price, I reckon there's at least a 4x to come out of Dot, which is okay. Where else can you get 400% in a few months? Yeah, Joseph, don't ask for advice on TikTok. You will get flooded. But by all means, if you want to come into a community and start talking about crypto, join the free Discord. The link's in the bio, buddy. Lots of people in there with lots of experience on different projects, different favorite networks, different things to do, farming airdrops, DeFi, just spot holding, day trading, whatever. We've got a few people that do a bit of everything. So hop in the Discord, buddy. Just chat things through, chew the fat with a few people, get back into the rhythm of crypto, and just see what you like now. It's just good to be on a narrative. That's all. I think the AI narrative is almost exhausted. It will come back, but for now, I think it's probably exhausted. I'm looking towards gaming. Metaverse is picking up. Polka City done quite well this last couple of days, but that's like a tiny, tiny low cap that we're into. Any thoughts on XYO? Quite like XYO. I don't hold any, so I'm not an expert on it, but it could do quite well. There's a lot of people that like it. It's not really a project that I hold. It's not my kind of thing. But as I said, I'm not an expert on it. The tokenomics are very, very good. It's almost fully diluted. It's on a lot of very good exchanges. The volume's still there as well, which is bullish. But yeah, and logistics for me, logistics is one of its main use cases, and logistics just isn't sexy. So it doesn't sell. And crypto is 90% marketing and style and flair. So unfortunately, logistics for me is something I don't invest in anymore. I really like Morpheus Network, which is a great logistics project. But again, logistics just isn't sexy. So although it's low cap, I don't think it's going to give me a great ROI. My YouTube is linked in my bio. Go and check it out. As I said, Kick is also there as well. Kick seems to be working very, very nicely. So please do hop over there and check out both. A sub on each would be much appreciated. Moon River and Glimmer, almost a 10x. Yeah, Moon River, I almost sold Moon River. I was going to put it into something else. Kind of pleased I didn't. I think Moon River will perform quite well. Moonbeam has dipped back into the bargain territory for me as well. If I have a look at Glimmer, we had a horrendous. I don't know if anyone saw it, but on the daily you can see a wick down to 10 cents. It wicked to 10 cents. That was a scary big sell-off. But yeah, we're consolidating now the last few days around about 30 cents. Hopefully we form that as a platform. We have had support here before. Hopefully we'll bounce back up. The stochastic RSI is nice and low on the daily. Volume picks back up, then hopefully we'll start heading upwards again. We are extraordinarily low for Moonbeam. We're well below the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200-day EMA. The 200-day EMA is something like 39 cents. So we are well short of that right now. I think there's a lot of short-term potential for Glimmer to bounce back quite strongly. Looking at the weekly chart, you can see here on the weekly chart on Kick just how bad that dip was. We were sticking to a very nice upward trend on the weekly with Moonbeam, and this Bitcoin dip just absolutely destroyed it. But the good news is that the stochastic RSI has been almost completely reset by this, so maybe a little bit more downside for the next few days, but then the upside should come back through. Hopefully getting us back on track to the upside, as long as Bitcoin's nice to us, of course. It just looks like there might be some really scary opportunities. I've been looking at the way that this is wicked. It's never wicked this bad before, but there are some pretty big wicks on Moonbeam to the downside on bad days. So I might put an order in at something like 19, 18 cents, just in case Bitcoin has a halving dip that's quite severe. We could see Moonbeam have some good opportunities on it again. So I might have a bash at that because it could pick up some bargains. And of course, it's always good to have a cheeky buy order in at a very low price on whatever coin you like. Obviously, don't leave too much on exchanges. You can do it now on decentralized exchanges as well, of course. But basically, for Moonbeam, I would probably just use something like MEGC. But you can use quite a few decentralized exchanges for Moonbeam now as well. A few whispers of Donald Bump. Yep, the crew were all here spamming earlier. I did say that I bought into it last night. It did a decent return, and it's still going well today. So I acknowledge you, but please do not spam the live because the moderator will slam you. XYI I've just covered. Thank you for the heart, Katie. Appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, I mean, meme coins are a risky play. So I got into that one last night. I got out again. I don't hang around in meme coins at all. they're a very dangerous game for me. But of course, there's opportunity there. So I like to get in really early, so that if they take off, I can benefit from that. So if that happens, then that's great. You're welcome, Kurt. Not a problem. Thank you for the rose, Katie. Appreciate that. Thank you very much indeed for that support. Appreciate you. So on crypto bubbles as well, just looking at the daily chart, we are mostly green again. There are some fantastic gains back on the boards. Polka Bridge has been doing very, very well this week, going completely against the grain, whereas everything is pretty much 25 to 35% in the red still for the week. Polka Bridge is up 200%. Sad to say I'm not in that at the moment, though. But Crust Network also up 30%. GFAL up 12.5%. That's one of the gaming plays that I didn't buy. I bought quite a few others, though, in the dip. So, yeah, check that out in the Discord. But yeah, we're generally seeing a lot of green. I do think it's a bit more of a green day. The Bitcoin halving is 1 day, 5 hours, 17 minutes away. So we could wake up, or I could wake up Saturday morning to a bit of a Bitcoin kick in the face, or it might happen Monday. We'll have to wait and see. But I am expecting a Bitcoin dip, so maybe a little bit of green the end of this week isn't such a surprise. Last opportunity for the market makers to really, kick some people in the teeth, get rid of some shorts, and then get rid of the longs, and then carry on after the halving. It's going to be a very volatile few days, I think. My view on Jasmine, I need to research Jasmine again, because previously I thought Jasmine was a pump and dump, but it's not behaving like a pump and dump anymore, so I need to get into that a bit more. Oasis Network is a decent project. I don't currently hold any, therefore don't know too much about it, but I do like Oasis. It's just not one that's in my portfolio right now. So yeah, the Bitcoin halving is going to give us a bit of a headache this weekend, I think. Just looking at what's trending as well. Let's have a look. Just going to have a look at all the trending. So the fear and greed index is now down to 55 as well. That's good. We need, the further down that fear and greed index comes, the better it is for us buyers. So right now, in terms of trending tokens, we've got Ondo at number 5 that actually has had some decent performance over the last month. Also, a couple of meme coins doing quite well, but these can be sponsored. You have to be careful with these. Now, at number 10 on trending, according to CoinMarketCap, is a project called Black Card Coin. Never heard of it, but it's 94% up on the week, 40% up today. Market cap apparently 3.3 million, 6 million of volume in 24 hours. So that's the kind of thing that I like to find and then have a look at. If you can find something that's doing really good volume, especially against a weak market, then that's not bad. The problem with this is it's got less than 0.5% of the supply out there. So that will quite easily dilute very quickly. So yeah, be wary of projects like that. It looks good artificially, but you've got a market cap of 3.3 million, fully diluted it's 742 million because they've only got 0.5% of the supply in circulation, which is not good. It is a self-reporting supply, so they might just need to update it, but I would never invest on it whilst it looks like that. But Black Card Coin was an interesting one to have a look at least anyway. It's a good example of what you can find if you're lucky. But yeah, if the tokenomics were better, I'd be having a really good look at that. But it's not. Sushi coins. Sushi coins, I'm not familiar. If that's a project, I'm not familiar with sushi coins. Unless you mean sushi swap. That's obviously a big one. Sushi swap. I don't know why I developed a lisp there, but I did. But yeah, I mean, Black Card Coin, just having a look at it now. CoinGecko kind of agrees. The total supply is 150 million. The current trade is good, but the circulating supply is not strong. So, yeah, not a good looking project after all. Can Filecoin reach all-time high? Can it reach all-time high? That's a good question. Not will it, can it? So that's a good question. Let's have a look at Filecoin. Currently $5.98 with a $3.2 billion market cap. Fully diluted, that's $11.7 billion. All-time high, let's have a look at that. All-time high price was $188, and that was February 2021. So at the height of the bull run, it hit $188. The problem you've got is that it's diluted supply quite a lot since then. So the market cap then was 11.8 billion. So less than a 4x, about a 3.5x from my current position. So whereas before that market cap would have reached you $188 in token price, right now it might get you $22. That's how much tokenomics can skew your price, which is why I'm always wary about if influencers tell you that it's going to get back to all-time high. Be very dubious about what they're saying. They're trying to grab your attention, very much like if Gala returns to not Gala. Well, Filecoin would be a prime example. Filecoin could go to $188. That's its all-time high. Yeah, it's really bullish. Yeah, like 20x, whatever. Yeah, let's go. 20x easy. Filecoin, institutional, great utility. But it's not, because if you look at the market cap tells you you're only a 3.5x away. So all the people that tell you the price of a token without explaining the current market cap, at least alongside, they're wasting your time, or they're just calling you suckers. You need to learn how to look at price and market cap together. Now, market cap's not always the be all and end all, but in the case of especially older projects that have been around a while, if you're trying to reach a previous all-time high, it should be the market cap, not the token price. Because Filecoin's a prime example. You're not going to get $188 ever out of Filecoin unless it does 30x, and it's not going to 30x to nearly $100 billion overnight. It never, it went to 11 billion before. It's not going to 10x its all-time high market cap. Thank you for the hearts, people. I do appreciate that support. I appreciate you. How long does the halving last? The halving is basically an instantaneous event. It's how long the market reacts for. Generally speaking, there will be a supply shock with the miners. The miners won't want to sell. The buyers won't want to buy because they'll be arguing over price. You'll see a massive dip in the price of Bitcoin. The institutions and people will then buy it up. And then the miners will start slowly releasing their more expensive Bitcoin tokens at a higher price. So I would expect a couple of weeks of extreme volatility. I do think that the Bitcoin halving dip will come. But I do think it will either be cushioned or recovered from quite quickly because institutions will be buying up the relatively cheap Bitcoin. Remembering at the moment, I think Bitcoin costs about $10,000, $12,000 to mine a single Bitcoin. It's literally going to double the effort to mine. So it's going to cost $20,000 plus to mine a Bitcoin token. So in theory, it cannot be cheaper than the cost to mine it. So Bitcoin's floor, in effect, as far as I'm concerned, if you think about it from a miner's perspective, the Bitcoin floor after the halving goes up above 20K unless energy prices severely dip. Altcoins should go up. Yeah, absolutely. Altcoins will always follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin leads the market. The problem we've had is that Bitcoin has been so dominant, despite the fact it's created a new all-time high. Altcoins haven't. And that's because Bitcoin dominance has been so high. The money's been going into Bitcoin. And any money that's come out of Bitcoin has gone into shitcoins. It's gone into meme coins. Not a lot of it's gone to utility. But what I would also say is if your project that you've been holding long-term has not performed yet, think about what you're holding. Don't be afraid to shuffle the pack because we are in a bull run. Regardless of what people say, we are in a bull run. Bitcoin's leading the way. It's by far stronger than a lot of other tokens. But we have had projects this last year, decent projects. This isn't even an exhaustive list. Run anywhere up to, let's have a look. So Bonk's done 1,600%. Pepe's done 1,400%. Pendle's done 1,400%. Sol's done 550. Swarm Markets has done 500. FET's done 470. Kaz is still sat at 360% on the year. So if your project isn't at least putting in some green, you've got problems. They should be performing. Yes, everything's been hit hard now, but if you zoom out over the year, you should be up. If you're not, question why. I mean, a great example for me, and this is a real shame for me, I love Radix, okay? But Radix is 64% down on the year. It's not up. Now, on the month, it's down 18%. So it's weak. I love Radix, but I'm not going to hold it whilst it's doing that. No way. Now, if you've been holding a long time and you're down, I can't tell you to buy or sell or whatever. I can't give you financial advice. Do you take the hit as a loss and sell it and move on to something that might be more profitable? Or do you wait in the hope that it will run eventually? No one knows. I can't tell you. He on Solana doing big things next week. Definitely worth reading into. Yeah. Alex Costa's coin. I like Alex. He'll have, if he's got a plan, it'll be a solid plan. He's probably one of the creators in the space that I would trust if he was doing a meme token to try and give it some utility. But, we'll have to wait and see. He is a standalone guy doing this off his own back for the community. So if he can pull it off, great. But, I mean, it's not something I would openly advocate. Casper Network has gone very quiet. No one talks about Casper anymore. CASPER. Because it's not doing anything. It's literally doing nothing. It's developed a few apps in the bear market. It's run out of steam. It's 1% up on the day. It's $364 million market cap. It is fully diluted. If they come out with some stellar news, it will rip. 100%, nearly circulating supply is great. But it's actually down on the whole month. It's actually down from the beginning of the year. It's down nearly 60%. No, sorry, it's down nearly 40% from the beginning of the year. It's had no gains. And again, another one that you could say had promise but not performing. Should I hold it? I don't know. I don't hold it because I didn't like it. But, CASPER, down 46% on the year. It's really not doing well compared to other projects. It should be performing. Still bullish on Moonbeam and Glimmer. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And what I would tell you, if you don't understand what Moonbeam can do some research on it. Especially look at what it's done for Manta Network. Manta Network was built on Polkadot as part of the parachains. It won a slot and it developed. It wanted to incorporate Ethereum EVM technology. Moonbeam allowed it to do that. So in both directions, you can have people building Polkadot projects on Ethereum and Ethereum projects on Polkadot because Moonbeam sits in the middle. It acts as the middleman. It gives them all the tools and everything they need to make it smoothly integrate. Moonbeam is going to be hugely important for the Polkadot and Moonbeam EVM compatible projects. Moonbeam for me is huge. I've been saying it for a long time. Price performance does not always reflect utility. Moonbeam should have its day. It's done quite well to recover from the bottom of the bear market. And I think it's going to do a lot better in the bull run. We've seen it go up to 70 odd cents and it will run up there again. It has been making higher lows. Bitcoin's just wiped out its trend line on the weekly, but hopefully it'll bounce back. Casper, KASPAA is better, and Akala. Yeah, 100%. The possibilities with Casper are very interesting. KASPA. I like the possible things that network can do. It hasn't really done a lot yet. Smart contracts are on the way, apparently, if not here already. I need to catch up on that. But Akala, for me, was a huge project. I was into Akala massively in the bear market, and I got put off because they had an exploit on one of their chains, on one of their contracts, and unfortunately, it took them months to resolve. And if the team can't resolve that quickly, people lose confidence, and I'm not going to invest where there's no confidence. Helium did extraordinarily well in the last bull run with their IoT technology. Of course, they've now migrated to the 5G network narrative, which will probably see them do very well. But I mean, having been in the previous bull run, ultimately the IoT network thing was a bit of a Ponzi and it ran out of steam. The 5G network has given them more expensive equipment to sell, which feeds the Ponzi. Helium will probably do very well. But again, on the month, it's very flat. On the year, it's done well. It's up. Will it ever see all-time high again? I mean, the all-time high price for HNT was $54, $55. So you would think there's an 11 or a 12x in it. Looking at the market cap, it peaked at about $5.5 billion. So yeah, there might be an 8 to a 9x possible back to all-time high market cap. but I don't think the narrative is as strong for the 5G network. I mean, you've got mobile phone companies that do that. I mean, if there's any blockchain to be built on 5G, they'll just do it themselves. They don't need HNT. API 3, decent project, quite like it. Don't hold it. Just didn't make the shortlist for me, so I don't know an awful lot about it. Have I looked at Sidus Heroes? I have, because it's done some awesome volume. Again, I don't know a lot about it because I haven't bought it yet, so I don't know a lot about it. But I mean, it's $79 million market cap, 180 million fully diluted. But the volume's good. The volume, they did $1 million in the last 24 hours, and they're quite high up on the volume stats as well. If you have a look at it, they're on a few decent exchanges as well, not all the big ones. So it's a good looking project, and it's definitely got some upside potential to it. I'm just trying to find the volume. So I think it was the gaming area. It had quite decent volume compared to some others. Sidus volume over 7 days. There was something about it that I liked, and I had a really good look at it. I'm thinking it's volume, but it's not on this list, so maybe it wasn't the volume. But yeah, I mean, Sidus, I've definitely looked at it sideways a few times, but I've just not pulled the trigger. Bullish on Phantom. Phantom was my DeFi network choice for the last bull run. I think it's outdated now. So yeah, Phantom for me is probably a no. I would much rather go into a decent layer 2 for DeFi like Arbitrum, or even better, Base network. I think Base is going to be huge for DeFi. It is basically Ethereum, but faster and cheaper. It is literally that. So it looks the same, it feels the same, it behaves the same. It's just faster and cheaper. And there's already some great DeFi on there. I really love Extra. I really love BMX. BMX is basically a fork of GMX. We all know what that did on Arbitrum. So Aerodrome looks like it's going to be the big AMM DEX on Base. So I'm holding Aerodrome, I'm holding Extra, I'm holding BMX. I've got some Base swap, I've got some swap Base. I'm looking at other things as well. Some low caps that are earning revenue are very, very key. So DeFi Llama TVL is very important. Go and have a look in there. Is the dip over? This particular dip, probably over for now. But in the next day or two, we could have another dip. The Bitcoin halving dip, I feel, is still to come. Do I think Solana will go to its all-time high soon? When the alt runs begins, Solana will go crazy. No doubt about it. Solana will see all-time high again once the bull run starts for alts. ICP, very bullish on the tech. Adoption is coming slowly, and hopefully it aids performance, because I like ICP technology, but good technology is useless without adoption. It's like VHS and Betamax. Betamax was actually better technology, but VHS won the popularity race. So we all played with VHS 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago. I can't remember. I'm quite old. But yeah, I mean, it's solid technology. It needs to be more user friendly, and it needs to see adoption. And then ICP will do quite well. If we don't see that in this bull run, or start seeing it in this bull run, ICP could have big problems. I mean, it's got some big people supporting it now. It's doing a lot of kind of like awareness and marketing drives, so it could do quite well. I hold a lot of ICP, so I hope it does. I staked it for a number of years. WALV went down a lot. What's WALV? Alvi Chain. Never even heard of it. Sorry. Do I like Aerodrome? Aerodrome is class. Cyclix Games. I don't think I've had a look at that one. Duel and Game GPT. Duel is probably the project I've been supporting the longest in this bull run. In the Discord, we found this one when Rainmaker was 400k. I did the research, I broke the back of it, I spoke to the founder, found out what their plans were. We all bought in when the market was 400k. So we did like anywhere between a 10 and 14x on Rainmaker. And then when Rainmaker launched Duel or Game GPT, we've seen 10x from that as well. So that's my 110x for this run. I've seen a genuine 110x already for some of my money from Duel. Not just because of Duel, but because of Rainmaker as well. But if you had researched Rainmaker, the funding they had, the plans they had, and you had conversations in the right place, Anyone can do that research. Anyone can find a 110x. And that's exactly what that was. They had funding to do a new project under the umbrella of Rainmaker Games, Game GPT. They had good backers in Animoca Brands, who are very well known in the gaming VC area. They were going to be successful. So we invested in that from very, very early on, and we've done very well. Despite the pullback in price recently, which has been brutal, we're all very, very much up. Harris, welcome to Kick. You're on YouTube, Harris. Welcome. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Thank you very much indeed. Appreciate you being there, buddy. I hope you enjoy sharing the screen and seeing what I'm looking at. But yeah, absolutely. Game GPT still hugely bullish. Suku, I'm not overly familiar with. Am I still bullish on DEAI? Yes. To be fair, the token took a bit of a kicking, to say the least. But I really like 01 Labs. I genuinely think if they deliver their roadmap, they could be contenders and competitors for Potenza DAO. So Tau Potenza, rather. It's very, very, very good. Now, the tokenomics look awful, but I know that the vesting is over 2 to 3 years for the major token holders. So I'm not overly concerned by that. But yeah, it's got huge potential. Bearing in mind that I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, it was basically the top, and it's come back down a bit now. But I really like this project long term. I've actually bought some more. I think it's got huge upside potential. I'm trying to speak to the team as well, because I would love to just partner up with them and keep the community informed about what they're doing. So if anyone from 01 Labs, i.e. DEAA, is around, please do shout out. I'd love to partner up and see what we can do, because I really like what you're doing. And there's been a couple of other good ones as well. Blender, I know, has gotten some hate, but I actually really like the look of Blender as well. Any project that is launching its own hardware to encourage the decentralization of the GPU network, spot on. Spot on. Velodrome, I think, originated from Optimism, so yeah, it's well suited for base chain as well. Obviously, a base chain was built using the OP stacks, so Velodrome is another good one that you could have as a base holding or as an Optimism holding. But yeah, Velodrome looking quite good as well. I do like that one. Bald-headed Jimmy, how are we doing? Good to see you. XRP, I'm still a fan of Ripple, but the XRP token I dumped months ago because it just doesn't offer a return. LCX opinion. LCX, I was talking about LCX 3.5 years ago. No one was listening. And now they've got the checkbook out for marketing. People are sitting up and taking notice. Fundamentally, that product hasn't changed in 4 years. But because they've done some marketing, it's more popular. So they reached an all-time high of 360 million in the last bull run. They'll probably get to about 1 billion or maybe a little bit more. But I'm not expecting big numbers because they don't do big numbers. Shinobi Ninja, it's doing better than I thought it would, but I don't really know a lot about it. I thought it was a bit of a shit coin, but apparently they're being well received. So fair play to them. I hope they make a go of it, and I hope it's good. But I think they got some sort of sniper bot or something that is quite good, apparently. I don't know. Fifthscape's not one I've heard of, I'm afraid. Beam's a very large but very good gaming network. It is quite decent. I don't hold any, again, so I'm not a huge expert on it, but it's okay. Let's have a look at what Harris is saying on YouTube. Really like the project Dimitra. Love the project, what it's doing. Great fundamentals. Definitely think it will do extremely well. Any thoughts on it? Not one I've ever looked at, I have to say. No one's ever mentioned that before, which I quite like, because it means it's probably not being shilled. If I haven't heard of it, because you guys aren't talking about it, means it's probably early and it's not being shilled. But this is $75 million. Fully diluted, it's $82 million. So I like those tokenomics straight away. Let's have a look at the markets. It's on decent exchanges, but not Binance, Coinbase, or Crypto.com. So it's definitely got some more exposure it can gain. All-time chart, let's have a look. Price high was $4.90, currently 18 cents. But the market cap right now, this is the important thing, the market cap now is 75 million. All-time high, 116 million very recently. So we know it can go maybe 50% higher than its current position. That only takes it to $110 million market cap. which isn't huge for any industry in crypto, but it powers the Demetra ecosystem, mobile and web platform, delivers a variety of technologies to farmers, traders, and corporations. So it's a real world project delivering blockchain use case technology. Good, I like it. Definitely worthy of research at least. So yeah, it looks pretty decent, mate. So AI in farming, if they are delivering this in the real world, that's bullish. I like it. Blockchain deserves to be used the right way, not just for launching shitcoins. So yeah, definitely worthy of research, mate. Thank you. I like that. I like that. Can ICP do a 10x from current price? Let's have a look. So current price is $12.50. A lot of people would say it could do a 10x. I'm much more conservative about my exit strategy. ICP I do like very long term, but it will take 5 to 10 years to play out, I think, if it's successful. My first take profit target on it is about $56. If I'm more conservative, it'll actually be $46. Could it do 120? Yeah, absolutely, it could. But if you want to take profits on the way up and actually make money, I wouldn't wait to get there. I mean, if the bull run is a super cycle, I might not take profits till $70. In which case, then I might actually just take 25% each time, and I might see 125. But I would probably be all out by the time we get to $90. Velodrome player of the old season. Velodrome is definitely very good. I mean, it's across Optimism and Base Chain, so it's in two great ecosystems. Base Chain, I think, could see it do extremely well. Velodrome could earn money from Base Chain very easily. Am I a fan of Brett? I do hold Brett. I wouldn't say I'm a fan, but it's kind of like the OG meme coin on Base Chain. It's got a lot of support, so yeah, worth looking at least. Right then, folks, I am going to have to wind it up. So we were just getting good numbers as well. So I thank you for being here this evening. Thank you for your questions and things. If you're not following me here already, please do hit the follow button. Also, check out the links in my bio for YouTube and Kick. All those subscriptions really, really do help. I have been streaming on both tonight live as well. So if you're on TikTok and you want to see my screen and see what I'm talking about, get subscribed to Kick. Probably the best one. Even better than YouTube. So I appreciate your support. I appreciate your follows and your likes. You got me up to 11K, which is phenomenal. Really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you all again. Have a good night.